Bangkok. A name that stirs up visions of a city that never stops, where past and present live side by side. A place where tradition hums beneath the neon glow, where the chaos of the street is matched only by the serenity of a temple. There is no one way to see this city, because every corner, every street, every glance gives you a new piece of its story. The first thing that hits you here isn't the sights. It's the energy. A kind of vibration in the air, a rhythm that pulls you in whether you're ready or not. The roar of engines, the chatter of vendors, the clang of metal pans, the music pouring from shop fronts, Bangkok is loud in the best way. It speaks in sound, in scent, in color. Look around, and you see a city of contrasts. A glass tower rises beside a crumbling shopfront. A golden shrine sits on the edge of a highway. Monks in saffron robes walk past giant LED screens. Tuk-tuks dart between luxury cars. This is a city that refuses to choose between the old and the new. It celebrates both. On the streets, life moves fast. Stalls spill onto the sidewalks, overflowing with fruit, clothes, trinkets, toys. Food carts sizzle, their flames rising high for just a second before disappearing. The smell of chili and garlic wraps around you. The scent of grilled meat, sweet mango, fresh herbs. The tang of fish sauce. Bangkok comes at you through your senses, and it doesn't apologize for it. There is beauty here, but not always where you expect. In the curve of a temple roof, its tiles glinting in the sun. In the worn steps leading down to the river, smoothed by thousands of feet. In the hand of a vendor arranging flowers at dawn. In the neon glow that bathes a night market, making even the ordinary look magical. You don't just see Bangkok, you feel it. In the heat that rises off the pavement. In the cool breeze that comes when you finally find shade. In the weight of the air before a storm. In the way the city's rhythm seems to match your heartbeat. This is a city of movement. Ferries crisscross the river. Trains slide through the sky on concrete rails. Tuk-tuks rattle over potholes. People walk with purpose, weaving through traffic, crossing streets where there are no crossings. No one waits here. Bangkok moves, and you move with it. And yet, for all its rush, Bangkok always gives you a chance to stop. To breathe. To watch. A temple's quiet courtyard. A shady bench beneath a banyan tree. A rooftop where the city stretches out below you, endless and full of stories. These moments remind you, Bangkok isn't just fast. It's deep. The river is where the city's heart beats slowest. The Chao Phraya. Wide. Brown, alive. Boats of every size glide across its surface, longtail boats, ferries, barges. Life has flowed along this river for centuries, and it still does. On its banks, temples stand as they always have, their spires reaching for the sky. Modern towers rise behind them, reflections dancing on the water. The old and the new, always together. By day, Bangkok dazzles. By night, it glows. Neon signs flicker on. Markets burst into life. Food stalls line the streets, their flames brighter against the dark. Music fills the air, pop songs, traditional tunes, the beat of a drum. The city hums, but softer now, as if it's inviting you to lean in closer. To see what happens next. Bangkok is not a city you can see in one visit. Maybe not in a lifetime. Because every time you look, it shows you something new. A hidden alley filled with murals. A quiet canal where houses balance on stilts. A night market where the food is better than any restaurant. A shrine where candles burn and prayers rise with the smoke. Bangkok doesn't just live in its landmarks. It lives in its details. And the people, they're what bring the city to life. The vendor who serves you a bowl of noodles with a smile. The student offering incense at a temple. The family sharing a meal on plastic stools at the roadside with pride about his favorite market. The monk who offers a blessing as you pass. Bangkok is their city. But for a little while, they share it with you. What makes Bangkok special isn't just what you see, it's how it makes you feel. It's a city that challenges you, surprises you, welcomes you. A place where every sense is engaged. Where every street has a story. Where every day holds a new discovery. So, as we journey through this incredible city together, I invite you to look beyond the guidebooks. Beyond the tourist spots. Listen to the sounds. Breathe in the scents. Taste everything. Let Bangkok show you what it's made of. And I promise, it will stay with you. Long after you leave. If Bangkok has a language, it speaks through food. This city doesn't just feed its people, it tells its story through every dish, every cart, every sizzling wok. You'll find Bangkok's soul not in grand buildings or wide avenues, but on the streets where the air is thick with the aroma of chili, garlic, and smoke. Everywhere you go, food calls out to you. Stalls line the sidewalks, offering grilled meats glistening with glaze, steaming pots of curry, pyramids of tropical fruit. A plate isn't just a meal, it's a memory in the making, a piece of the city's heart served on plastic or paper. Here, eating is a way of life. A ritual. A celebration. Close your eyes and listen. The crackle of oil in a wok, the hiss as a splash of sauce hits the heat. The chop 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 of a cleaver at a noodle stall. The soft clink of ice in a glass of sweet Thai tea. The soft hum of conversation as people gather, eat, laugh. Food here is not meant to be silent, it is alive, noisy, joyful, and the smells, they follow you everywhere. The sharp tang of fish sauce mixed with lime. The sweetness of coconut milk bubbling in a curry. The smoky char of skewered pork. The clean, crisp scent of fresh herbs being torn and scattered. With every breath, Bangkok feeds your senses. Because in Bangkok, they don't hold back. The heat of chili that makes your lips tingle, your forehead bead with sweat. The sour bite of tamarind that jolts you awake. The deep umami of fermented sauces that linger on your tongue. The balance is perfect, sweet, sour, salty, spicy, bitter, layered so that each mouthful tells a complete story, and nothing is just one thing. A bowl of tom yum soup, it's not just spicy or sour. It's a punch of lemongrass, a hit of kaffir lime leaf, a burst of galangal. It's shrimp cooked just right, mushrooms soaking up the broth, a sprinkle of herbs that finishes the dish like a signature on a painting. Tom yum isn't just soup. It's Bangkok in a bowl. Pad Thai, sure, you can find it anywhere. But here, fresh from the wok, cooked by hands that have done this 1,000 times, it's something else. The noodles, soft and chewy. The tofu, crisp on the outside. The egg, just set. The peanuts, the lime, the chili flakes, add them as you like. It's a dish that lets you choose your balance, your story. Then there's the street sweets. Mango sticky rice, warm, soft rice scented with coconut, the mango sweet and cold, the sauce rich and creamy. Tiny coconut pancakes cooked on cast iron, their edges crisp, their centers soft and custardy. Grilled bananas brushed with syrup. Sweet, but never cloying. Always just enough. But food here isn't just about taste. It's about place. About people. About the city itself. You stand at a cart and you're part of something bigger, a shared moment between you and the cook, between you and everyone else eating beside you. There's no fancy dining room, no soft music, just the city's soundtrack and the taste of something real. Markets are the city's dining rooms. Open to the sky, packed under tin roofs, they're where Bangkok eats. Fresh fruit stacked in brilliant pyramids, watermelon, pineapple, papaya, dragon fruit. Bags of curry paste in red, green, so fresh yellow. They still twitch. Spices sold by the scoop. You walk through, and every stall invites you in. Try this. Smell that. Taste everything. And it's not just Thai food you'll find. Bangkok is a city of migrants, of influences, of borrowed flavors made new. Chinese, Malay, Indian, Vietnamese, they all have a place at the table. The result is a cuisine that's fearless. That mixes and matches. That takes what it loves and makes it its own. Night markets are when the city's appetite truly shows itself. After dark, when the air cools just enough, people gather to eat. Plastic chairs, paper plates, a table if you're lucky. But no one cares about that. The focus is on what's in front of you. A bowl of noodles fragrant with star anise. A skewer of grilled chicken dripping with sauce. A plastic cup of ice-cold lime soda to wash it all down, and always, the sharing. Food is meant for company here. Dishes meant to be passed around, tasted, talked about. Strangers become friends over a shared plate. A smile, a nod, an offer, try this, it's good. Bangkok reminds you, food is connection. Food is community. By the end of the day, you won't just be full, you'll have tasted the city. The real city. The city that lives in its food stalls and markets, not just its monuments. A city where a meal is more than just fuel. It's a way of saying, welcome. Sit down. Eat. This is Bangkok. Bangkok may be a city of movement, but at its heart, it is also a city of stillness. A city where, just steps away from the rush of traffic and the glow of neon, you can find spaces where time slows down. Places where the air feels different. Where the noise of the world fades, and something older, deeper, takes its place, temples. Shrines. Sacred spaces. They are everywhere, woven into the fabric of the city. You don't have to seek them out, they find you. A glint of gold at the end of an alley. The soft sound of a bell on the breeze. The smell of incense rising, curling into
These are Bangkok's quiet gifts. Every temple tells a story. Of kings who dreamed of glory. Of craftsmen who shaped wood and stone into prayer. Of people who, across centuries, have come to offer their hopes and fears, their thanks and their wishes. The city's spirit lives in these places, in their walls, in their statues, in their silence. Wat Arun, the Temple of Dawn. Its spires reach toward the sky, covered in pieces of porcelain that catch the light and throw it back. From a distance, it looks delicate, like lace made of stone. Up close, it is strong, weathered, enduring. The Chao Phraya flows beside it, carrying the city's history in its current. And as the sun rises, the temple glows, a reminder that every day in Bangkok is a new beginning. Wat Pho, where the giant reclining Buddha rests. 46 meters of calm, of grace. The soles of his feet inlaid with mother of pearl, showing the signs of the Buddha. The hall around him cool and quiet, even as the city hums outside. People come here not just to see, but to reflect. To breathe. To remember that peace is possible, even in the busiest of places. Wat Saket, the Golden Mount. You climb its steps, round and round, the city falling away below you. Bells line the path, their chimes soft and clear. At the top, the Chedi shines in the sun, and Bangkok stretches to the horizon, a sea of rooftops. Trees, towers. Up here, the city feels both vast and close. You see its scale, but you also feel its heart. But Bangkok's spirit doesn't live only in its famous temples. It lives in the small shrines tucked between buildings, in spirit houses outside shops and homes. In garlands of marigold and jasmine draped over statues. In candles flickering in the night. In offerings of rice and fruit, laid gently at the feet of stone figures. These are the city's everyday prayers, quiet, constant, unseen by most, human in these places. You see it in the faces of those who come to pray, to light incense, to bow their heads. A mother with a child, teaching them to place a flower. A worker on a lunch break, hands pressed together, eyes closed for just a moment. A monk sweeping leaves from a courtyard, his movements slow, mindful. Bangkok's spirit isn't hidden, it's everywhere, if you stop long enough to see it, and this spirit, it doesn't ask anything from you. You don't have to understand every ritual, every symbol, every word. You just have to be present. To listen. To look. To let the city's sacred spaces work their quiet magic. Because they will. They always do. In these places, the city's contrasts become clear. The ancient and the modern. The sacred and the ordinary. The loud and the quiet. A temple stands beside a mall. A shrine shares space with a market. A monk walks past an office tower. And somehow, it all fits. Bangkok doesn't choose one over the other, it honors both. That's its strength. And maybe that's why these places stay with you. Because they remind you of balance. In a city that moves fast, they ask you to slow down. In a place that dazzles with its sights and sounds, they invite you to close your eyes and listen to the silence. In a world that often feels divided, they show you how things can come together old and new. Sacred and everyday, side by side. So when you visit Bangkok, don't just see the temples. Feel them. Walk slowly. Look up at the details, the carvings, the statues, the paintings faded with age. Watch the light as it changes, as it moves across the floor, the walls, the roof. Smell the incense. Hear the bells. Let yourself be part of the moment. Because that's where the city's spirit lives, in the moments we take to truly see it, and when you leave these places, you'll carry something with you. A sense of calm. A reminder of beauty. A memory of a city that knows how to honor its past while embracing it. A city that offers its spirit freely, to all who are willing to see. When the sun sinks below the skyline and the heat of the day softens into evening, Bangkok transforms. The city you thought you knew by day becomes something else entirely. The colors change, the sounds shift, the energy rises. Bangkok at night is a different world, one of neon glow, of laughter and music, of endless possibilities. The streets come alive. Signs flicker and flash in red, blue, gold. The smell of grilled meat and fried noodles fills the air, mingling with the scent of rain on hot concrete. Scooters weave between taxis, their lights like fireflies in the dark. Markets that were quiet in the afternoon now pulse with life, voices calling out prices. Music playing from tiny speakers, the clatter of metal pans, the hum of conversation. Night markets are the heart of this after-dark world. Rows of stalls stretch as far as you can see, selling everything from knockoff designer clothes to handmade crafts, from vintage records to glittering jewelry. And food, always food. Bowls of spicy noodles, skewers of grilled chicken, piles of fried insects for the brave. The vendors move fast, practiced, efficient. The customers, locals and tourists alike, move slower, drawn in by the lights, the smells, the promise of a bargain or a surprise. You don't just shop at these markets. You experience them. You let them pull you in. You taste. You touch, you talk. You lose track of time as you wander from stall to stall, letting the night wrap around you like a warm breeze. Every turn offers something new: a fortune teller reading cards by candlelight, a street performer balancing on a unicycle, a bar hidden behind a curtain of beads, and then there's the river. The Chao Phraya at night is a ribbon of black silk, reflecting the lights of the city. Boats glide across its surface, their lights twinkling like stars. On the banks, bars and restaurants spill out onto decks and terraces, offering view. The air is cooler here, softer, scented with water and night-blooming flowers. The noise of the city fades just enough that you can hear the splash of the water, the soft music from a distant boat. Bangkok's nightlife isn't just about bars and clubs, though there are plenty of those, each with its own style. Rooftop bars where you can see the city stretch to the horizon, its lights a sea of gold and white. Tiny cocktail bars hidden down alleys, where the drinks are crafted like works of art. Open-air beer gardens where friends gather, the clink of glasses a soundtrack to the night. And the sounds Bangkok after dark sings with them. The beat of music from a passing tuk-tuk. The soft chatter of people walking arm in arm, the bark of a vendor calling out their specials, the cheer of a crowd watching a street show. The city doesn't sleep, it shifts, it dances, it glows. And you can't help but be swept along. But beyond the markets and bars, beyond the music and lights, there are moments of stillness. A temple lit softly by lanterns. A quiet soi where cats doze on motorbikes. A park where couples sit close, whispering, watching the sky. Bangkok at night is a city of contrasts, as vibrant as it is gentle, as loud as it is quiet, as wild as it is calm. Every street you walk feels like a story waiting to be told. A street artist spraying color onto canvas. His hands moving fast and sure. A woman selling garlands of jasmine, her fingers weaving flowers into delicate chains. A man with a guitar, playing old songs that drift through the night air. Bangkok's nights belong to these small moments as much as to the big, bright lights. And what makes it magic is that the city doesn't ask you to choose. You can spend your night in a rooftop bar, a night market, a quiet temple courtyard, or all three. Bangkok gives you all of it, freely, generously. The night is yours to shape. Yours to explore. As the hours slip by, the city changes again. The music softens. The streets begin to empty. Vendors pack up their stalls, sweeping the ground clean. The river grows still. The last of the tuk-tuks rattle past. The sky begins to pale at the edges. And Bangkok, ever restless, prepares for another day. But if you've seen the city after dark, you've seen its soul. Because in the night, in the glow of the lights, in the laughter of strangers, in the taste of midnight street food, in the quiet of a temple courtyard, you see what makes Bangkok unforgettable. A city that lives, and gives, and welcomes. Always. Bangkok is a city of grand sights, temples that touch the sky, markets that stretch for miles, towers that glitter in the sun. But its true charm often lives where few think to look. Down narrow lanes. Behind shop fronts. Beyond the places marked on maps. The hidden Bangkok is where the city breathes deepest. Where its heart beats slow, steady, real. Walk down any soiled Bangkok's small side streets and you leave the rush behind. Here, laundry flutters from balconies. Children play with stray cats. The smell of home-cooked rice drifts from open windows. These are the city's quiet rooms, where daily life unfolds in scenes too small for guidebooks, but too rich to miss. You pass a workshop where a man hammers at brass, shaping it into bowls with hands that have done this work for decades. He glances up, smiles, and returns to his rhythm, a steady, gentle music. Next door, a woman arranges mangoes on a cart, their yellow skins glowing in the soft light. She slices one open, offers you a piece, sweet, warm from the sun. There's a cafe so small you might miss it if you blink. A single table, a single chair, the smell of strong coffee mingling with the scent of rain on stone. The owner nods a welcome, sets down a cup, and lets you sit in peace. Outside, a scooter rattles past. A boy on a bicycle waves as he goes. The city moves around you, but here aren't always places. Sometimes they're moments. A woman lighting a candle at a street shrine as night falls. A man offering a bowl of rice to a stray dog before eating his own meal. A group of friends playing guitar on a stoop, their voices soft, their laughter easy. These small kindnesses, these quiet connections, this is the Bangkok that locals know and love. There's beauty in the details. The faded murals on the wall of a forgotten temple, their colors soft but their stories strong. The way morning light hits a row of terracotta rooftops. The sound of a monk's chant, carried on the breeze from a hidden monastery. The feel of worn stone steps beneath your feet as you explore a passageway few notice. And in these hidden corners, you find the city's soul. Markets where no signs are in English, but where a smile and a nod are all the language you need. Parks where old men practice Tai Chi at dawn, their movements slow and graceful. Tiny bookstores filled with old novels, postcards, and memories. Bangkok's treasures aren't always loud, many whisper. And if you listen, you'll hear them. The alleys themselves are storytellers. They carry the scent of curry simmering in a family kitchen, the echo of a street musician's song, the laughter of kids playing after school. They offer glimpses into lives lived fully, quietly, honestly. They remind you that a city isn't just its monuments, it's its people. And Bangkok's people are generous with their stories. If you take the time to see, sometimes it's a hidden garden, a patch of green between concrete walls. A place where butterflies dance above small ponds, where turtles bask on rocks, where a bench waits for you beneath the shade of an old tree. Other times, it's a tiny shrine no bigger than a mailbox, where someone has left fresh flowers, a stick of incense, a whispered wish. And then there's the food. Oh, the food. Not the famous dishes of the big restaurants, but the meals with no name. A bowl of noodle soup that warms you from the inside out. A bag of sticky rice and grilled pork, eaten with your hands as you walk. A coconut ice cream served in a coconut shell, sweet and cold and perfect on a hot afternoon. These tastes stay with you. They become part of the memory of the place. Bangkok's hidden side teaches you to slow down, to look closer, to ask, gently, what the city wants to show you. And when you do, it gives. It gives stories, flavors, colors, sounds. It gives moments of connection, of wonder. It gives pieces of itself, freely, quietly, joyfully. So when you're here, or when you watch this, wherever you are, I hope you'll see that Bangkok is more than its headlines. More than its top 10 lists. More than what the tours promise. It is a city of small wonders. And those wonders wait just beyond the main streets, just beyond the obvious. All you have to do is look. Cities are made of buildings, of roads, of history, and light. But more than anything else, cities are made of people. And Bangkok's people are its greatest treasure. They are the heart behind the temples, the hands behind the street food, the smiles behind the market stalls. To know Bangkok, truly know it, is to see it through its people. Everywhere you look, you find them shaping the city's rhythm, adding color, adding life. The woman at the morning market who arranges her fruit in perfect rows, wiping each mango until it shines. The old man who sells lottery tickets on a busy corner, his face lined with stories. The tuk-tuk driver who grins as he weaves through traffic, sharing jokes with passengers from around the world, and the children, their laughter is the city's song. You hear it in the alleys where they play football with plastic bottles. In the parks where they chase each other beneath the trees. In the schoolyards where they practice dances for festivals. Their energy fills the air, reminding you that Bangkok is looking ahead. The craftsmen. The quiet artists of daily life. The man who carves wooden figures in a shop no bigger than a closet, his fingers sure, his eyes steady. The woman who weaves silk at a loom older than she is, the fabric growing, inch by inch, under her careful touch. The potter shaping clay on a wheel, the painter adding gold leaf to a Buddha image. Each one keeping traditions alive, not as a performance, but as a way of life. And the street food heroes, those who wake before dawn to prepare what will feed 1,000 hungry souls. The woman stirring a giant wok of pad thai, the flames leaping around her. The man slicing pork for a steaming bowl of broth. Moving with the grace born of years of practice. The girl who hands you a skewer of grilled chicken, her smile as warm as the food. You see Bangkok's generosity in its people. In the shopkeeper who waves off small change. In the stranger who helps you when you're lost, drawing a map with their hands. In the monk who blesses you softly as you pass. In the taxi driver who points out a temple or a market you would have missed. These are small things. But they are everything. And the performers, Bangkok's voice and movement. The man with a guitar singing old pop songs at a night market, his voice carrying above the hum of the crowd. The dancer who moves between tables at a restaurant. Her hands telling stories older than the city itself. The drummer on the street corner, his rhythms pulling people close. They remind you that art lives everywhere here, not just in galleries or on stages, but in the streets, in the air. Then there are those who keep the city safe and moving. The traffic police who guide cars with a whistle and a wave. The workers who sweep the streets clean as the city sleeps. The ferry pilots who steer their boats across the river with skill that comes from a lifetime on the water. The market guards who know every vendor by name. The city's each one strength, part of the Bangkok's people carry its contrasts, too. The young tech entrepreneur tapping away on a laptop in a cafe, the monk sweeping temple steps, the street vendor selling iced tea from a cart. The old and the new, side by side, not in conflict but in harmony. The future and the past woven together, in the faces of those who call this city home, and perhaps what stays with you most is the kindness. The warmth that greets you at every turn. The sense that, here, you are welcome. That no matter who you are, or where you come from, Bangkok opens its arms. It shares its food, its stories, its laughter. It invites you in. So when you think of Bangkok, I hope you think of these faces. These hands. These voices. Because this city is not just a place. It is its people. And they are unforgettable. Bangkok's art is not hidden in plain white galleries. It's not something you visit once and check off a list. Bangkok's art lives in the streets, in the temples, in the rhythm of everyday life. It surrounds you, sometimes loud and proud, sometimes soft and subtle. You don't just see art here. You feel it. The temples are masterpieces, not only of faith, but of craft. Every surface tells a story. The gleam of gold leaf, the intricate mosaics of mirrored glass, the sweeping curves of roofs that seem to touch the sky. Murals cover walls in scenes of ancient battles, of mythical beasts, of lessons woven into legend. Every detail, every color, chosen with care, painted with purpose. Walk down almost any street, and you'll find art that speaks of now. Graffiti blooms on alley walls, not mindless scrawls, but vibrant, defiant, joyful. A tiger's face bursts through cracked concrete. A woman's eyes, larger than life, stare out from the side of a shop. Murals that turn blank spaces into conversations. The city's young artists using spray paint and passion to tell their truths, but Bangkok's culture is not just visual, it moves, it sings, it lives. Glide through the air,
Traditional
their fingers
dancers.
curved, their bodies speaking in ancient language. On temple grounds, you might catch a masked con performance, where demons and heroes battle in graceful slow motion. In back alleys, kids practice breakdancing, their moves sharp and fluid, blending street with stage. Art is everywhere you look and everywhere you hear. From the chime of temple bells to the strum of a guitar in a night market, from the soft notes of a traditional flute to the thump of bass from a rooftop bar. Bangkok's soundscape is a symphony of old and new, each note adding to the city's song, and the crafts, oh, the crafts. The hands that weave silk, that shape clay, that carve wood. These are the quiet artists, the ones who pass down skills from generation to generation. You might find them in tiny shops or at market stalls, their creations displayed with pride, lacquerware that gleams like polished stone, delicate silver jewelry, paper lanterns that glow like captured fireflies. Bangkok's culture also lives in its festivals. Songkran, the New Year water festival, where the city becomes a playground of splashing, laughing, celebration. Loy Krathong, where rivers fill with floating candles, each one a wish sent drifting into the night. These aren't just events, they're living art, made of light, water, color, and joy, and art here is not locked behind glass or ropes. It invites you in. You can try your hand at batik, learning the rhythm of wax and dye. You can watch a potter spin clay, then shape your own bowl. You can sit with a calligrapher and see your name transformed into graceful Thai script. Bangkok doesn't just show you art, it shares it. Even the food is art. The way a plate is arranged, the bright green of basil against the deep red of chile, the soft white of rice beside golden curry. The way flavors are balanced, sweet and sour, salty and spicy, bitter and rich, like notes in a song. Every meal is a composition, made not just to delight. And in the quiet moments, you see Bangkok's culture in the small rituals. The woman who pauses to offer incense at a spirit house. The shopkeeper who presses palms together in greeting. The child who bows before a monk. These gestures, small but powerful, are threads in the city's cultural fabric, worn with pride, offered with grace. Bangkok's art and culture aren't static. They change, they grow, they blend. A modern gallery in a concrete shell shows video art that explores what it means to be Thai today. A pop-up market showcases handmade skateboards painted with traditional patterns. A new cafe doubles as a poetry stage at night. The old and the new dance together, creating something uniquely Bangkok. So as you see these images, these colors, these faces, these hands at work, I hope you'll feel the spirit of Bangkok's art. It's not something you can fully capture in a single frame or a single visit. It's a feeling that stays with you. A reminder that here, creativity lives in the open. That here, culture is not a relic, it's alive. Bangkok is a city built on water. The Chao Phraya River runs through its heart, winding like a silver ribbon, tying together past and present. Around it, canals spread like veins, feeding the city with life, with movement, with memory. To see Bangkok from the water is to see it differently, to see it as it was meant to be seen. Out here, the city slows down. The rush of traffic fades. The noise of markets and motorbikes softens. Instead, you hear the splash of oars, the hum of boat engines, the quiet lap of water against wooden piers. The river is Bangkok's mirror, reflecting its temples, its towers, its sky. You pass long-tail boats, their prows painted with bright colors, their engines growling like tigers. They slice through the water, carrying goods, carrying families, carrying stories. Ferries glide from bank to bank, packed with commuters and monks, schoolchildren in crisp uniforms, tourists clutching cameras. The river is not just scenery, it is highway, marketplace, playground. And along its banks, life unfolds. A woman kneels at the edge, releasing a small raft of flowers and candles and offering to the river, a prayer sent downstream. A fisherman casts his net in a slow, graceful arc. Laundry hangs from bamboo poles, drying in the breeze. Old wooden houses lean over the water, their stilts weathered but strong. New glass towers rise behind them, shining in the sun. Bangkok's floating markets bring the river to life and color in motion. Boats piled high with tropical fruit. With steaming noodles, with fresh flowers. Vendors calling out, bargaining with a smile. The air thick with the scent of grilled fish, of herbs, of coconut. It is a feast for the senses, a reminder that the river still feeds the city as it always has. The temples along the river seem to rise from the water. Wat Arun, the Temple of Dawn, its spires glittering with porcelain and seashells, catches the first light of morning. Wat Kalayanamat, where locals come to pray quietly. Tiny shrines tucked between docks and warehouses, their incense smoke curling into the air. The river has always been sacred, always a path to the divine. Bridges span the Chao Phraya, tying the city together. The Rama 8 Bridge, with its graceful lines. The Memorial Bridge, heavy with history. At night, they light up, their reflections dancing on the dark water. Boats drift beneath them, their lights flickering like fireflies. And the canals, the klongs, where you see a different Bangkok. Narrow waterways lined with banana trees, with gardens, with homes where families have lived for generations. Children wave as your boat passes, their feet dangling over the edge. A dog sleeps on a wooden deck. A man tends his orchids in pots balanced on a floating raft. The klongs are Bangkoks, where the old ways endure. Sometimes, the river shows you the city's contrasts most clearly. A luxury hotel rises beside a crumbling pier. A sleek dinner cruise drifts past a floating shack. The river belongs to everyone. It connects the rich and the poor, the old and the new, the sacred and the ordinary. And always, there is movement. The river never rests. Boats pass at all hours, in the soft pink of dawn, in the glare of noon, in the gold of sunset, in the hush of night. The city's heartbeat is strongest here, on this water, in this flow. To sit by the river is to feel time slow down. To see the boats, the birds, the light on the water. To watch the sun set behind temple spires, turning the sky to flame. To listen to the river's song, quiet, steady, endless. Bangkok's river life is not just part of its past. It is part of its soul. So as you see these images, as you hear these words, I hope you'll feel what the river means to Bangkok. It is not just a line on a map. It is a lifeline. A storyteller. A home. A highway. A friend. The river is where Bangkok began. And where, in many ways, it still begins each day. If you want to understand Bangkok, start with its food. Food here is not just fuel, it's culture, it's connection, it's joy. Every street, every corner, every market is alive with flavor. To walk through Bangkok is to follow your nose, to let the sense of sizzling garlic, sweet coconut, sharp chile, and bright lime guide your steps. Street food is Bangkok's beating heart. You'll find stalls at dawn, at dusk, at midnight, at every hour when hunger calls. The woman stirring a giant wok, flames leaping up as she tosses noodles and bean sprouts and shrimp. The man flipping skewers over glowing coals, brushing them with a secret sauce passed down from his father. The vendor carving fresh mango, sliding it into a bag with sticky rice and coconut cream. Every bite tells a story, a recipe handed down, perfected over time. The dish that has crossed oceans, but is never quite the same as here. The balance of sweet, sour, salty, spicy. The crunch of peanuts, the tang of tamarind, the perfume of lime. Or tom yum soup, hot, sour, fragrant with lemongrass and galangal, a bowl that wakes up every sense. Or green curry, rich and creamy, spiced just enough to warm you from within. But Bangkok's food journey doesn't stop at the famous dishes. There's som tam, green papaya salad, pounded fresh to order in a wooden mortar, fiery and crisp. There's mu ping, grilled pork skewers, sticky with marinade, smoky from the fire. There's boat noodles, dark, rich broth, slippery noodles. Tender meat, served in bowls so small you always want another. And then there's the sweet side of Bangkok. Roti, fried on a hot griddle, drizzled with condensed milk, folded into golden layers. Coconut ice cream served in a hollowed-out coconut, topped with peanuts and sticky rice. Kanam krok, little coconut rice pancakes, crisp at the edges, soft at the center, still warm from the pan. Sweetness is part of every meal, part of every day. Markets are where Bangkok's food journey begins. Fresh herbs piled high, their scent filling the air. Baskets of chilies in every shade of red. Fish so fresh it still glistens. Fruit that looks like jewels, dragon fruit, rambutan, mangosteen. Lychee. You see chefs here, picking the best ingredients. You see grandmothers who know which stall has the ripest mangoes. You see young couples choosing snacks for a picnic by the river. The market is not just a place to shop, it's a place to be. And Bangkok's food is for sharing. Meals come with many dishes, meant to be passed around, tasted, enjoyed together. The rice at the center, and around it, bowls and plates of color and flavor, curries, stir-fries, salads, soups. The table is a gathering place, where family and friends meet, where strangers meet. Tiny tables set out on sidewalks, at open-air markets, at gleaming restaurants where chefs turn tradition into art. You can eat a meal for a few baht from a street cart, or you can dine high above the city at a rooftop bar, the lights of Bangkok spread out below. Food here belongs to everyone. And it's always changing. Bangkok chefs take the old and make it new. You'll find food trucks serving Thai tacos, cafes where Thai tea becomes a creamy dessert, restaurants where the flavors of Bangkok meet ideas from far away. But no matter how modern, the soul of the food stays true, bold, balanced, generous. Every meal in Bangkok is a chance to explore. To try something new, to taste something unforgettable. The soft crunch of fried insects at a night market, a daring snack, salty and crisp. The deep comfort of a bowl of congee at dawn, warm and gentle. The heat of a chili you weren't expecting, the cool relief of an icy drink afterward. The food here keeps you awake, keeps you curious, keeps you coming back for more. So as you see these dishes, as you watch these hands at work, as you hear the sizzle, the chop, the laughter at shared tables, remember this: Bangkok's food is its gift. A gift of flavor, of tradition, of hospitality. And it is a gift given with open hands, with open hearts over Bangkok, every single day. The city doesn't sleep. It transforms. The heat of the day softens into the warmth of neon. The noise of traffic gives way to music, to laughter, to the hum of life lived after dark. Bangkok's nightlife isn't just about bars or clubs, it's a world of its own, rich, colorful, full of surprises. The streets light up first. Markets that were quiet at noon become alive with color and sound. Stalls glow under strings of bulbs, their tables piled high with food, with clothes, with souvenirs. You can smell the grilled meats, the roasted chestnuts, the sweet scent of fresh fruit. You can hear the clink of plates, the calls of vendors, the chatter of friends sharing a late meal. Night markets like Asiatique, where the river breeze cools the air as you walk between shops and food stalls. Or Rot Fai Market, where vintage meets modern, where you can find old vinyl records beside handmade jewelry, where a meal might be served from the back of a Volkswagen van. Every market has its own character, its own rhythm. And everyone invites you to stay, to browse, to taste. Then there are the rooftops. High above the busy streets, Bangkok's rooftop bars offer another view, another vibe. The city spreads out below you, a sea of lights, of movement, of possibility. You sip a drink, the air cooler now, the breeze carrying the sounds of the city. Music plays softly. Conversations mix with the distant honk of horns. Here, Bangkok feels endless. In small alleys and hidden corners, you'll find live music bars, where the bands are close enough to touch, where the songs are raw and real. Blues, jazz, rock, Thai folk, the music of Bangkok's night is as varied as its people. The performers play not for fame, but for the love of the song, for the joy of sharing it, and the food, always the food. Bangkok's street food never rests. Late at night, you'll find stalls serving steaming bowls of noodles, fragrant with garlic and pepper. Juicy and skewers of grilled meat. Plates of crispy fried chicken, of sticky rice, of sweet crepes. The city's hunger is greatest at night, and the cooks meet it with open arms. Not all of Bangkok's nightlife is loud. There are quiet moments, too. A temple lit softly against the night sky. A small cafe where poets read their work, where artists gather. A corner where a man strums his guitar, his case open for coins. The city's night is full of stories, if you take the time to listen. And yes, there are the famous party streets, places like Khao San Road, where backpackers from around the world meet, where the music is loud, the drinks cheap, the energy electric. Places where you can dance, can meet strangers who feel like friends by sunrise. But even here, there's more than what you see at first glance: vendors selling handmade bracelets, artists sketching portraits, the pulse of a city that loves to celebrate. Bangkok's night is a tapestry of light and shadow. It's in the glow of lanterns at a night market. In the flicker of candles at a bar by the river. In the shimmer of gold on a temple roof, caught by the moon. In the eyes of the people who make the night their own, and the vendors, the musicians, the drivers, the dreamers. What makes Bangkok's nightlife unforgettable is that it belongs to everyone. There's no dress code for the street market, no ticket needed for the music that drifts from an open door. The city invites you in. Whoever you are, wherever you're from. It asks nothing more than that you join the dance, that you taste, that you listen, that you see. So as you see these scenes, the lights, the faces, the plates of food, the streets alive with energy, I hope you feel it. The spirit of Bangkok at night. A city that doesn't just stay awake, but comes alive in the dark. A city that offers you its heart, wrapped in music and laughter and light. Bangkok is a city of markets. Wherever you go, wherever you turn, there's a market waiting. A place where the city gathers. Markets here are more than shopping, they're the city's soul on display. A riot of color, a dance of scents and sounds, a living, breathing theater where every stall tells a story. The first thing you notice is the color. Fabrics in every shade: rich silk, soft cotton, bold prints. Piles of fruit that look like jewels: deep red rambutan, golden mango, pale green guava. Flowers strung into garlands, their petals fresh with morning dew. Lanterns in bright paper, toys painted in cheerful hues, rows of spices glowing orange, red, yellow. The markets of Bangkok are a feast for the eyes. The next thing is the sound. The call of the vendor. Inviting you to look, to touch, to taste. The buzz of bargaining, soft laughter as deals are struck. The clatter of bowls at a noodle stall, the splash of water as fish sellers clean their catch. Music from a radio, a child singing, the steady hum of the crowd. Each market has its own rhythm, its own song. You can find anything here. In the maze of Chatuchak Weekend Market, one of the largest markets in the world, you can get lost for hours. Hand-carved wooden elephants, vintage denim, hand-painted ceramics, rare books, pet squirrels. It's a treasure hunt where every turn brings a surprise. Or visit the flower market, Pak Klong Talad, where the night air is thick with the scent of jasmine and rose. Vendors work by the soft glow of bulbs, their hands fast and skilled, turning flowers into art. Bouquets for weddings, garlands for temples, blooms for the home. A place where beauty is sold by the bundle. At platinum or platinum, the markets go vertical. Stalls packed into towering buildings, selling fashion at every price. Wholesale deals, tailor-made suits, dresses that sparkle under the lights. The air hums with the energy of trade, of creation, of possibility. Bangkok's markets aren't just for tourists. They're where locals come to buy, to eat, to meet. Early in the morning, for fresh vegetables, for fish still glistening, for herbs just picked. At night, couples stroll hand in hand, sharing snacks, choosing gifts. Markets are where the city's stories unfold, day after day. And always, there is food. Every market is also a kitchen. Stalls where the oil sizzles, where skewers turn over coals, where soups bubble in giant pots. You can eat as you walk: satay, spring rolls, sticky rice, coconut pancakes. You can sit on a tiny stool and feast on dishes that cost just a few coins but taste like a king's banquet. The floating markets take it further. Here, boats are stalls, water is the walkway. Vendors paddle up with mangoes, with coconuts, with steaming bowls of noodles. The market flows as much as it stands, alive with movement, with trade, with tradition. To shop here is to step into Bangkok's past, where the river was the city's main road. What's magical about Bangkok's markets is that they are both old and new. Some have stood in the same place for generations. Others pop up for a night, then vanish. Some sell the ancient crafts, hand-woven baskets, traditional medicines, amulets. Others offer the modern gadgets, designer knockoffs, the latest streetwear. The markets are where Bangkok's history and future meet. To walk through a market is to feel the city's pulse. To hear its heartbeat in the chatter, the clink of coins, the music that drifts through the air. To see its face in the smile of the vendor, in the hands that shape dough into dumplings, that carve soap into flowers, that tie ribbons around a bouquet. The market is where Bangkok comes together. So as you watch these scenes, the stalls, the faces, the colors, the crowds, I hope you feel the wonder of it. The energy, the creativity, the generosity. Bangkok's markets are more than places to buy. They are places to experience, to connect, to remember. The colors fading into the night, the sounds softening, the scents lingering. You carry more than what's in your hands. You carry the memory of a place where life is lived out loud, where every stall is a window into Bangkok's soul. The markets may close their shutters, the lanterns may dim, but their spirit stays with you. Because in Bangkok, the market is never truly over, it's just waiting for the next sunrise, the next story, the next visitor ready to discover its magic.